To my knowledge, there is not one Republican that is fighting against reproductive rights. Then again, I have not looked at all of them, and so there may be some that want population control. It is actually cute that Democrats have to play these word games to get around the fact that they are killing children. Well, it would be cute if it were not so tragic. Again, there is not one member of the GOP that would target her. They would be arresting the drug dealer that gave her the abortifacient, or the surgeon that butchered the child. I do not know of any law in the books or proposed law that would give this authority to the police. So this has absolutely nothing to do with inflation. And every company across every industry collectively decided to raise prices. I find that a little hard to believe. So if profits are so high, why are so many restaurants and stores across the country closing down? Also, have those record profits been adjusted for inflation? Probably not, as Mr. Heller and others just want us to hate successful people. Besides, this would mean that the record profits were lower than described. It is amazing that right after Biden starts touting his success with managing inflation, something that he was even called out on by the fake news, suddenly all of the major companies are gouging. Honestly, what are the odds? It is almost as if there is a new talking point under Operation Mockingbird to protect Brandon. I mean, the Biden White House would not give instructions to big tech platforms. Again, these two are not the same. If you took out that loan, you should pay it back. No one forced you to take out the loan. On the other hand, what is wrong with parents choosing where their kids go to school? If one school is better, what is wrong with going to that one? And since the child is not at that school, why should it get the money? Will you vote for someone who checks his watch while coffins are passing by? Or someone who left our equipment behind rather than blowing it to smithereens? Would you vote for someone who used his position as vice president to advance his son's career in Ukraine? Would you endorse someone who sniffs children's hair and wants them to rub his legs? To be fair, there's no proof that either candidate attempted a coup. But one told the people to go home. The other's vice president bailed rioters out of jail after they burned buildings to the ground, even in Washington, D.C. Something that will never apply to Democrats. Create a fake dossier to destroy your opponent. A mere fine. Paying off a floozy while running for president? Hauled off to court. This lawfare is not going to stop anytime soon. Well, she never chose that. Unless you have some proof, Mr. Anderson. And no, the mostly peaceful protest of January 6th does not count. After all, there's footage of the people being waved in and getting a private tour. So I want proof of her terminating democracy. Multiple Democrat celebrities have talked about or openly demonstrated an assassination attempt against Trump. Only Democrats can talk about a stolen election in 2016. And if you have any evidence that Trump acted as a dictator during his first term, I would love to hear it. In the meantime, Brandon is not as coherent as he is presented here. He must be told where to stand and what to do by his staff. So, a president appointing justices is now a problem. When did it become a problem? Asking for a friend. Let me break these down one at a time. There were the results of the 2016 election, which was denied by Clinton and the liberal media. But we are not supposed to talk about that. Is there any evidence that he encouraged these people to enter the Capitol? Even if they were waved in and got a tour? Like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the rest of big tech that censored news about a certain laptop? We are not allowed to talk about that censorship. Well, Hurd did say there was a case to be brought, but did not because Biden was too senile. That seems clear-cut to me. Not to mention the charges against him by multiple women. In other words, Mr. Mark Stein just threw out a bunch of arguments against a straw man and claimed victory. Well, that flag has been flown in California. But that is the only connection between these two. A flag that has been flown across the country. Since the Revolutionary War is all of a sudden a symbol of hate. Democrats must get such amazing exercise with all of these mental gymnastics.